And very good timing indeed as New Zealand being introduced to the president of the Rugby Football League, Lord Derby, and New Zealand are pretty well at full strength. For New Zealand viewers, just one change, Dennis Williams at stand off for Gary Woolard, and we'll just keep quiet for the national anthem. And there's the Great Britain side, who have one or two new players in, one or two old faces, and this is the side: Whitehead, Jones, Benyon, Hesketh, Sullivan, Millward the captain, his first captaincy for the Great Britain side in the Test match, Steve Nash halfback, forward Wallow, Corellius, Jeans, Ashurst, Coolman playing on his home ground, and Mantle with subs, Edwards and Farah. And New Zealand, who are going to do the haka, the war cry. There's the Great Britain side, but here comes the haka, led by the Henry Tatana. And we'll just have a look at this for the first few bars, if that's the right expression, for it, and away they go. Tatana is combative. Yeah. Well, it was not a bad one for them, but so that enables me to give you their team for this test match, a test match that they last won in this country just 10 years ago, almost to the very day. Whittaker fullback, Orchard, Phil Orchard, Lowther, Christian, the captain, Roy Christian, Brereton, halfbacks Williams and Sterling, and forwards Gailey, Fisher, Tatana, Smith, Greengrass and Kuriletich, and the subs Cooksley and Robin Orchard, who is the brother of Phil Orchard. The referee in the middle and in charge of the events, there is the captain known as Fletch, a descendant of Mutiny of the Bounty, Christian. Very nice lad indeed, played 48 times in that silver fern jersey for New Zealand. Roger Millward on the left on his debut as captain, with Mr. Brown, the referee from Preston. And New Zealand have won the toss, but when I spoke to them a short while ago, they both said which way they would pick, so we had a pretty good idea which way they were going to play. New stand of Salford, and it's Roger Millward to start for 40 minutes in the first test of this 1971 series, with Great Britain going in as favourites. Waiting for the time, and away they go. James Fisher, the hooker, a new boy to Test football. And this will be some of the plans of the kick in. Tony Kuriletich, quite a strong player from Auckland. First penalty, Derek Whitehead, who is likely to be the main kicker, but that's not a good one. John Whittaker, who came on this tour as a three-quarter, by choosing him as full-back because of injuries and because of they think he's pretty good at it. Quite a big lad. Bluey Sterling, number 7 in the dark jersey. His father played for Dewsbury many years ago, and gets his team a penalty, or Great Britain give it away. Henry Tatana, who is Maori, or Parth Maori. Great Maori footballers, played both rugby league and rugby union. One of them who played in both codes was George Napier, who played full-back, both for the All Blacks and for Streatham and Mitcham in London and Halifax. Possession, Great Britain, on the left in the light jersey. And it's a long one, a bit loose. There's Jones taking it. John Warlow, Welshman, Bill Ashurst, and John Mantle, who was a sub, but now in the team and playing loose forward, really a second row forward, and obviously going to use this long kick down. There's not a lot of wind, blowing around rather than up and down. Wigan's tactics of Eric Ashton, their coach, uses Bill Ashurst as the touch finder to push them back in the scrum, as they are doing now actually in another way. Referee Brown. And it's a penalty for feet up before the ball has even gone in. So just a little bit of not feeling, but probably nerves, resulting in a little bit of misdemeanor, not of any great character, just a rule break as far as that's concerned. On the far right wing, number 2, Philip Orchard, and on this wing, Maurice Brereton, number 5, the winger. He's going to play the ball now. Both good footballers, strong. Krilitic using the prop forward to Tatana, using the hooker Fisher. Dummy half John Greengrass, known to his mates as Moose. And up, kicking for touch. I thought he was going to put an up and under, but the tactics is obviously going to be the same by both teams for the early part, trying to get in a position where they can then start to play moves. Steve Nash to feed. Very courageous little scrum half, this fella. Gets a lot of bumping around the league. Mike Coolman playing for Great Britain. Former rugby union star. And a penalty against New Zealand. There's Mantle there with Tony Cornelius playing his first international. Use the word internationals meaning tests all the time, of course, in this particular game. 5 minutes gone, no score. The team's just ready to settle down. Salford never staged a Great Britain New Zealand test match before, but way back in 1922 when England then won the Ashes with the great Harold Wagstaff. They played Australia on this ground. John Mantle. Good tackle by Krilitic. There's a chance of an overlap. Mike Coolman. Bill Benyon to Escott. Escott to Clive Sullivan. Clive Sullivan still going. He's got the speed. Got a lot of cover, but it's the nearest thing to a try so far. Roger Millward pushing it back to Whitehead. Whitehead running, I was going to say running straight through, he appeared to be. Scrum down. Ken Sterling, the scrum half. Millward, a nice short one to Nash. Ashurst is also quite a drop goal expert. And Benyon should be in for the first try. Indeed, it is the first try to Bill Benyon, St Helens centre. And it seemed to be open as that long pass came to this. The defence was split. The winger didn't know whether to come in or stay out. He stayed out, had little choice, and there was Benyon with his first try for Great Britain to make it 3-0. 7 minutes gone, so that's the start that Great Britain wanted. Derek Whitehead kicking, kicked 27 goals this season. Plays for Warrington. No goal. Well, that's the start. Great Britain 3, New Zealand 0, and it was indicative that the opening was there once Benyon had got the ball, and he's the boy to go straight. And this is the thing that Great Britain are aware of, that the New Zealand players are not quite the professionals to know how to close gaps quickly. But there are one or two bright footballers, like the boy that kicked off Bernard Lowther. Clive Sullivan. Hull. Mike Coolman, one of the local favourites in Salford. And again, Mantle. Two rugby union, ex-rugby union players playing together. Number of New Zealand players comes from Ellerslie, one of the clubs well known in New Zealand. Bill Ashurst, halfway line. Steve Nash, the dummy half. He's the one behind the play of the ball, Millward. And penalised for being tackled after it kicked. It was tackled by Dennis Williams, one of the bright boys. Bill Ashurst or Derek Whitehead, they both can kick. Derek Whitehead is going to kick, and he's going to kick for goal. Tells the referee, Mr. Brown, and they send 2 touches just round. And if they disagree, then the referee gives the signal. And this is the kick that he's got. And the time, 10 minutes gone. Great Britain 3, 1 try by Benyon, New Zealand 0, but a possible 2 coming up. Great Britain have 3 goal kickers, if need be. All of them have kicked reasonably well this season, as I'm afraid Whitehead doesn't at that point of time. Still 3 points to 0. That's the sort of good Millward thinking, the sort of thing that makes him just a little bit of the star quality that he's got. 5'4.5". Ashurst, strong, inside to Millward. Millward's trying to get it to Nash, but about a yard out. Probably gone the wrong way, but don't know how it'll finish. And the 4th tackle with Chris Hesketh, number 4, one of the home team favourites, Salford. Just a little bit of, there's Chris, just a little bit of needle in the scrums, but this is again a lot due to the nervousness and offside. Quite a lot of penalties at this particular moment. Maybe it's to get the energy out of the system, let them run backwards and forwards, tire themselves out and get down to playing rugby. Mr. Baker, both the linesmen come from Wigan, Mr. Rynn and Mr. Baker. Maurice Brayton playing the ball, playing the penalty, taking the penalty.
Get away!
Now it's a nice one to Coleman. Coleman in full stride is well worth seeing. But a good tackle by Butcher John Whittaker. John Waller will be seeking a try today. That's scored for a couple of years. Nice, nice one. If it bounces right, I think he'll be in. He's in. A typical Bill Ashurst short kick regatta. 6 points to 0, and I should think this must be 2 points. But I'll wait till he breaks the windows of the club. He doesn't break the windows, it lands on the roof, but he gets the 2 points. So 8 points to 0, 13 minutes gone, first half. So that's the start that people expected Great Britain to make. Just a question now whether the Kiwis, not used to a lot of Test football, or they did indeed beat the Aussies, who are the world champion, handsomely some few weeks ago. Granted, it was in Auckland and that muddy Carlo Park, but it was a good win. Millward's men will be moving the ball for all the worth, I'm quite sure, once they've got the measure of the pack. Still loose. David James lost the ball there, but he had the sense to knock it back. Tony Karelius, brother of the famous Vinty, Wild Bull of the Pampas it was called. This Kenny Sterling's ball. Lively scrum half, this Sterling. Father was Kiwi too. Gary Smith. Quite big forwards on the New Zealand side. They weigh about 75 stone altogether. Tony Kriletic. Oh, nice, beautiful run by, oh, beautiful try. Great try by Dennis Williams. And the Dennis Williams was a man I always thought should have been in the team. He was sub, but he came in for this team and showed his worth. A very good try, and he looks a bit like Georgie Menzies to me, who was a great stand-up half. Tatana kick in and Tatana kick. This boy who's just scored was the player of the match in New Zealand season, and he curiously heard this morning that he'd been given that honour. Somebody received it for him, and it was his birthday yesterday, his 18th birthday. So that is indeed a birthday present. That was the stand-up half, number 6, Dennis Williams. Good try, opened the game up wide again. That'll give the Kiwis a lot of confidence. John Greengrass, the one with the head caps on, or ear covering. Jones or Whitehead, Whitehead. A lot of people in England have quite a soft spot for the New Zealanders. They were indeed the first country to tour here way back in 06, in 07, 08. and indeed won the test match, won the test series. Match has been played at Leeds, Chelsea and Cheltenham, which is something we're not likely to see again. Ball back, which means it's a scrum down from whence it came. And the scrums, Tony Corelli has taken them 3-2. Been a lot of penalties in the scrums. Sterling and Nash will have quite a little duel, the two number 7s, because the courageous lad is Sterling, and we know that Nash is. Two Great Britain halfbacks coming from the Castleford Featherstone club. Well, there's the job to get in that tunnel. The referee's white socks, you see. Right, a quick one. He had to get rid of it quick before he got too much of a clobber in. Clive Sullivan, 9 tries this season. Bilashes the kick. We'll have to call him the boot. On the Great Britain forwards, with the Welshman of Wallow, who is a former Welsh Rugby Union international, and of course John Mantle, got a very good career in Union. Wallow played way back in 1962 against Ireland, which will remind a lot of our Welsh viewers about that match, I'm sure. They're now been and are converted to rugby league. So the score: Great Britain 8, New Zealand 5, and New Zealand coming a little bit, and there it is, and the time 20 minutes gone, 20 minutes to go. Gary Smith, second row forward. Tony Krilitic, loose forward. Comes from the Marish Club in New Zealand. And there's the boy that's going to please the crowd. Stand up half, good to Krilitic, number 13. Sterling. Lowther. On Greengrass. New Zealand coming back with a little bit of confidence after that try. You can see them warming up. They're running onto the ball. Sterling. Kenny. Nicknamed Bluey because his father had ginger hair. Tatana, the prop forward, got out of that one tackle. Good support for Lowther. He's got his legs, he's got the knock on. Well, what a possible chance there. Fisher, and no wonder he's mad. That was a good effort by New Zealand. They're coming back. Whose ball? No one's. Fella Lowther, who nearly broke through there. Bernard Lowther, who's the man that Wigan were very interested in after the World Cup series last year. Great Britain beat New Zealand 27-17 in that World Cup series. Nash to feed on his own line. John Mantle always seems to run in a sort of a half circle. There'll be quite cheers that come like that. You know it's Coolman that's got the ball. They automatically recognize him here at Salford. Whittaker, the fullback, and Randwick. 21-year-old, tall boy. I say he came as a back, a winger, or a centre. Roy Fletcher, Roy Christian. Douglas Gailey. He's one of the Ellerslie boys. Well, it's a long run, and it's not going to go dead. Mantle. Over the last few minutes, Great Britain have been in the white, by the way, in case you didn't know, on the left. Have been penned in their own half. So with only one try the margin, this promises to be a very good first test. The referee had his whistle to his mouth. A bit of a chance for Kriličić. He's got a long one then. Oh, and there's a penalty for in the middle back there. You can see the referee in the middle of the 25-yard line, and he suggests this for Gene striking. So this could be a Tatana success. Tatana kick in. Successful one. So that's really closing the gap. Indeed, it's closed it to 8 points to Great Britain, 7 to New Zealand, and with 16 minutes left. First half, of course, 40 minutes each way. A little more confidence in this Kiwi side. Haven't had all the success they would like in club games, but these are the ones that matter. They used to tell me in my early football days that win 2 matches on tour and it's a great success, as long as the 2 are test matches. The others don't matter so much. Oh, Tatana, the Maori boy from Mount Albert. Interested in gardening. You get plenty of practice here. Ah, this is Sterling. He gets his head down and tries to get under. Often does. Bernard Lowther. Ball loose. Nash.
Let go. Get away, let go.
Now there's a little bit of needle coming in. Good tackle by Kriličić. 14 successive tests, and he's a nice captain, Kriličić. Big uns and little uns, they all come alike to the Maori forward. Short one to Kuhlman. Oh, good. Hesketh. Good run. This is a chance for Hesketh. He's got 5 yards to go. Will it slide over? It's a try. There's some appealing for the second movement, but there's no doubt about it. The referee has given the try. So the Whitehead kicking the goal made it 13 points to 7. Obviously this try and the last triangle will put Great Britain's spurs up again. And Ashurst's ball rolling towards the special social club at Salford and to their main stand. which has seen many great players. Sterling. The feed. On that day when our Wagstaff team won the Ashes here, it was a very muddy and snowy day. It's fine today and the grass is green. A nice long one. Just inside the 25-yard line, Kiwis defended. David Jeans and John Warlow together have just not quite handling as cleanly as they might, but 25 yards behind the fourth tackle and scrum down. Just in case I didn't hear me earlier on, it's any drop goals and the one with many shots just brings 1 point. Chance for New Zealand. There's an overlap here. Bernard Lowther, can he go on his own? He's on his own. Sullivan's across for him. This movement's still there. The fullback's there. Can he go on to the post? Fullback to fullback. He's round and got a good try indeed by John Whittaker, the 21-year-old butcher boy. 13-10 to Turner to kick. And 13, he kicks it. 13-12. 3 out of 3 for that Maori forward. 16 stone he is. So really this game is wide open. 10 minutes to go in the first half and the ball's in touch with Maurice Brayton. Just 1 or 2 criticism, but I would imagine will be coming off of Britain's defensive tackling. Gone through tackles, which in test matches one doesn't expect, but it's certainly good entertainment from football point of view. And referee Brown penalising Great Britain. Katana to kick. That's some great forwards from New Zealand. Don Hammond, who's recently been over, McBride, Chang Newton and Pat Smith, all who have adorned this Kiwi Silver Fern jersey with distinction in the past. No doubt we'll be watching this. John Greengrass. There he is. Whittaker dropped it. The 53rd test match between Great Britain and New Zealand. Great Britain won 36 and lost 15 and 1 drawn. Clive Sullivan, can he go outside Phil Orchard? He's not even going to try, going down the middle. Hull winger, John Warlow. Oh, good sharp one, but a bit too hot. A bit too hot there for Steve Nash. I think he must have had an eye on one of his opponents. Forwards coming up quickly. Just inside the GB half. Oh, well taken, Benyon. He needed to be well taken because if it had dropped in between, the winger was in with a chance, halfway line. Mike Coleman, the shoulder, no, it's not come off, well taken, play on, advantage. They got to go, Lowther again. Good footballer, good interception by John Waller. Mike Coleman going down the short side, a side that we've seen him score many good tries. Just reminded the score, Great Britain 13, New Zealand 12. satisfactory from Mr. Brown as the second row pair team in together, the 11 and 12, Ashurst and Kuhlman. Seems to be a little bother with the scrums, and there was a lot of bother in New Zealand in the Lions tour in the scrums, but different sort of bother. Sterling. Dennis Williams. Roy Christian. It's a good one. It's rolled. Gary Smith. Interesting to see both second row forwards like Smith and Ashurst kicking and gaining 25 and 35 yards. And it certainly tires forwards to have to run back and then start the scrum again. Just outside the Great Britain 25, on the left and in possession, Great Britain. The pattern of this game appears to be the sudden breakaway and the sudden try. Well, the score 13 to 12, the time 5 minutes to go. And I suppose if this was in the last 5 minutes, even a one-pointer may be attempted. It's a drop goal. We've got a bit of an injured player in John Greengrass going off. But I don't think he'll stop off in view of the substitute rule that once a player goes off, this is for test match only, and it's back of his head being attended by the witness physio. So is there going to be an extension to the lead, or are New Zealand going to take the lead for half-time? We shall see, so will you. Great Britain ball. Millward, nice dummy. Some of the Great Britain players reckon that the Kiwis are dummy prone. Kuhlman was hurt there. David Jeans, good strong forward, big strong forward. That's one way to see the world. The referee going to see if Kuhlman's all right. Knee injury, but seems to be right. None of them will be keen to go off at all because they know they can't come back. Hello. Strong runner, good strong runner, but just in touch. Phil Orchard must have thought he was through there. He was pushing them off, and that's the sort of football that this boy is pretty good at. Knows the short way to the line, straight over the wing, and pushes all they can out of the way. I saw him get a very good try against Rochdale in their opening match. (13 to 12), just 1 point the margin, and we're getting close to half-time. Not a lot of injury time, entirely up to Mr. Brown. Say how much. Ashurst with his little Lewis Jones jump and then run. Nice one if he'll bounce it right. He's just missed it. There's a chance for Whittaker. The chance for Great Britain has become a chance for New Zealand. Oh, the defense again a little bit weak. But it's New Zealand on the attack. looking for support. He lost support and lost the ball. Well, that was a run both ways. And a penalty, no doubt, a very pleasing penalty to Great Britain to get away from that spot at that moment. A very good one, but at least it's in touch, which I suppose is the most important thing, to get it in. And yes, they've got it back. Was in the heavyweight strength of David Jeans and later John Warlow. Here he comes. With this 75-stone pack of the New Zealand Kiwis are standing up, although they're not getting ball possession. Great Britain are getting it 12-6 at this moment. One minute to go. And the last tackle before the scrum, fourth tackle. Now there's a bit of an overlap. Billy Benyon. Oh, what a good tackle by Sterling. Jones got the ball well. But Kenny Sterling is doing a tremendous lot of tackling and taking the last man and making him pass the ball. And there's the second row boys waiting to go in. Gary Smith and John Greengrass, and it's bandaged round his right ear. He's probably got a collie coming up. These cauliflowers can be a little bit painless. And number 5 is Maurice Brereton with his shoes up. And there's Tatana, the lad who's kicked the goals. Claude Hancock was the next big forward from New Zealand. Halfway line, half-time whistle, and off go the team. Great Britain 13, New Zealand 12. Well, I've got Eric Ashton, the great Britain former captain and also a great coach, now at Wigan. Eric, do New Zealand deserve to be behind?
I don't think so, Eddie. It looked to be all Great Britain for the first 10 minutes, taking an 8-point lead. But New Zealand, although being beaten in the scrums 2-1, has surprisingly come back very well. Good try by Williams and an excellent team try by Whittaker, the full-back.
You thought, I know, that Esker's try came from a forward pass.
Well, it seemed to be 2 yards forward to me, yes. I was very surprised it wasn't pulled up. But New Zealand have also missed 2 very good chances as well. Fisher, the hooker, failed, and then there was Orchard got round Sullivan, and he was unlucky not to score.
Well, thank you very much, Eric. So that's the situation, 13-12, and the team on the left is New Zealand, and their coach has been saying to the New Zealand team, if you can only get the share of the ball, we can beat Great Britain because you're better in the backs. A view that Eric Ashton feels at this moment. He also had some rather strong things to say about some of the defensive measures of the Great Britain team, but we shall see what's going to happen, and it's an important first test for both. Tatana, the forward, has got his left eye closing. That's Chris Esker. So it's Great Britain in white on the right and leading by only 1 point. this to be a really good. We had a good first half, and this should be a cracking second half, unless the play changes most unexpectedly. The kicking, of course, for touch, as both teams did in the first half. The flag not up, but the tackle's made, and the positions created for New Zealand. Maurice Brereton. New Zealand, Lance Todd came from New Zealand in that first tour. I know there's an injury at this moment, so I can tell you this without interfering with play. Lance Todd and George Smith and Edgar Wrigley came over with that famous 1978 team that started rugby league in that country and then came touring here internationals. And Lance Todd, of course, was manager on this very ground and this club, Salford. And it's a penalty for New Zealand, so Tatana will take the kick. That penalty was given for Nash not retiring. So this will put New Zealand in front if they were to kick it. Fourth attempt, and if he kicks it, it will be the first time that New Zealand have been in front. If he kicks it. He's got height, but nobody's putting the flag up. No goal. Score remains 13-12. Although Great Britain are getting getting the ball at the scrum, they're also getting penalised. Little Nash wonders which way he's playing. Another dropped ball from these short passes. New Zealand have obviously sensed that one or two of the Britain defensive backs have not been quite fulfilling it. There's this boy, Williams. Did he hurt himself when he hurt himself there? Could see it in his face. I don't know, it looks as if it's his leg. Seemed to fall awkwardly. Well, I hope this boy doesn't go out. He's a most entertaining footballer, and we saw he got a very good try. 25-yard line it is, so it'll be. Let's have a look. Let's have a look how it happened. And it was at this moment, the tackle, of course, was made by Ashurst, but perfectly clean tackle, and he threw him over. Now, I thought at first he'd fallen on his back that hurt, but he must have twisted his leg, but he's up and playing the ball. Frank Tobin of Widnes did the right thing to him. Fisher, James Fisher from Christchurch. Tatana, under the post, he is he not? Is it? Let's see what he's doing. He's not giving a try. He's not giving a try. He said he was on his back. Let's have a look at him. He went through, it's the number 11 to watch for, Gary Smith, this fellow that's coming up now. Now then, did he go over first? Now the referee said he didn't. He said, all right, didn't miss nothing. He said that the ball was on his chest, and that will no doubt be a try that will be argued for a long, long time if New Zealand were to lose this match at this stage with a score 13-12. Oh, Sterling got through nicely, looking for support. Orchard. Orchard's in. There's no doubt Orchard's in. Second time it is in. 5 minutes. No doubt about that one. Phil Orchard. And you'll see now Sterling did, I should have said Sterling did the Sterling work. He certainly broke through and went under nicely. But he was tackled, but the tackle wasn't held. Let loose, so it's all right. Too late for Mantle to come. So, 13-15. First time that New Zealand are in front. Well, this is really good, hard rugby league with Great Britain looking a little bit harassed at this moment. At 8-0 lead. which moved away from them. It's 8 to kick. Tatana. It's no goal. So it remains at 50. There, his left eye, which is closing rapidly. There it is, you can see it. And there was some question whether he wanted to come back, and I gather from our spy in the dressing room that he said, I'm going back if I can't see. I'll make him feel me. Now it's time for a revival by Great Britain to get back into the play. And they can do it. Well, John Mantle. John, of course, is really a second row forward. Playing loose forward today. This fella Sterling, he scrambles at every ball that he can, although he's not getting it from the scrum often. He really goes down, he really digs in, as they say. Very good forward, this Tatana. He's a waterside worker. Well, we've got to see something now from such as Roger Millward and Steve Nash. Hesketh and Benyon have both shown what they can do and try scoring. Whitehead. See the keenness in the Kiwi tackling. They get him round the head, and if you notice, they don't use a dummy half at the other play the ball. Neither side are doing it. Ashurst the kick in for position. Fullback Whittaker. He got a special word of praise with this lad, and I don't blame him with this sort of football. Orchard being chased by Sullivan. Good thrilling rugby league with New Zealand revealing things that none of the critics ever gave them. Said they had really no chance. We're talking about 15 points. And we've got Dennis Williams injured. He was the man there, the front three. They might as well rest, lads, and it will be a blow if he's got to go off, and he just go off, but Graham Cooksley comes on. This was possibly the injury that we saw him have earlier, and Graham Cooksley, who you probably remember, a blonde lad coming into the stand-up half position, scored a very good try in the World Cup, long running, little short stride, but it is all right. Offside and penalty to Great Britain. For this moment, I want an inspiration as the new man, Graham Cooksley, comes on, and just to remind you that where you often see him toing and throwing in our normal rugby league, it is not done in this tour because playing to international rules. Good short one. Millward. Did a bit early. Bit of an early pass. Ashurst. Nash. Great Britain are finding it hard to go down the middle. So, just to give you the situation up to date, 10 minutes gone, Great Britain 13, New Zealand 15, second half. Oh, what a thriller this is showing out to be. It will be quite a turn-up for the form book if New Zealand were to win this one. As I said before, this afternoon, it's the two matches that matter are the tests. And I no doubt people like Tess Mountford and Ted Nolan and others in New Zealand, Scotty McClimate, have told them that in their experience in this country. Coleman running. Coleman's in. He's got an inside man. He's still got the pass in. So near and so far at the end, Steve Nash, but he's right on the line. And it's a drop out from the 25-yard line. A chance lost. Well, that was a chance for Great Britain, and it was a short pass, and it landed on Bill Asher's leg, and it really was a cannon off rather than a short kick. It came so quickly. Gary Smith. Well, that was a 12-minute. Roy Christian in the clear. There's defensive cover. Whitehead got him, but it's taken a good tackle by Whitehead, who has been a little bit, seemed to be worried with some of his tackling of the full-back position, but that was all right. So what are we going to see from Great Britain, particularly the backs now? Millward out there. Incidentally, he'll be playing on Tuesday in the first of our floodlit when Hull Kingston visit Leeds, with the usual floodlit coverage of the second half and the 7:15 kickoff. Leeds versus Hull Kingston on Tuesday. Hull Kingston led by Millward. A nice short one. Not given enough section, he thought it got it. Tony Krilitic. And this is the new boy, Graham Cookson. Not a big lad, but a little fast runner. Well, it's going to be tries of breakaway nature, I feel. That's going to win or lose this match, whichever side you're following. Bernie Lowther, number 4, who went down heavily there, just past shot. Eric Ashton was watching him with great interest because he's the man that he thought was the best of the Kiwis. Steve Nash. A lot of tackling jobs to be done, but they're doing it at the moment. Great Britain now coming back, seeing the urgency of the situation. Tony Corelius, John Mantle. St. Helens, and the 4th tackle. And nobody's praying for anything there. Well, the 1 or 2 injuries to be attended to. The first is Bernard Lowther. And the injuries are now worrying New Zealand more than Great Britain. It would be. I think he hurt himself when he went down to make this tackle. He did it earlier on. He fell heavily on his shoulder. And back here at Salford, Great Britain 13, New Zealand 15. Sterling to put in and been doing better in the second half, both with penalties and scrums, New Zealand. very keen on the scrums, Mr. Brown, but at least no arguing with him. And Tatano, look at his eye there, he's closing up and bleeding his right eye, and his left eye doesn't look so good either. Our Henry's really in trouble. Had to go mates with Henry Cooper, did Henry Tatana. Millward. 2 second row forward there, mucked it up. Smith and Greengrass. Well, we're not getting to the stage just yet where the next try will be decided, the issue, but the next try is important. Oh, Roy Christian jumping up to David Jeans, Bill Ashurst. 4th tackle. The big ones and the little ones there. Steve Nash, just recently from Featherstone, but recently gone to live in York. And a penalty. 13-15, well, it's a shot at goal. Not having a great day at goal kicking, Derek Whitehead, but Roger Millward is talking to him. No, he's not kicking for goal. I just had Eric Ashton behind me. If he'd have taken a shot at goal there, he said, no, he wouldn't reach it. Tom Warlock, they're working the move and dropping the move. Mike Coolman, who is limping with his leg. He dropped it. Becky Gailey doing quite a lot of hard work in the middle, but this is the forward that will have get the headlines, I think, tomorrow. Tatana. It's a ball back, and of course ball back means that it's a scrum down where he kicked it from. It's Tony Kriletic, known to his mates as Fats. I don't know why, but who wants to put the ball in Kenny Sterling feels he's the right too, and Steve Nash feels he should, but Kenny Sterling knows he's right. Oh, this is a chance for Breton. Oh, and he got tackled. Well taken. Done an awful lot of cover work, is Millward. Done it first half and second half. And there's a hold up for injury. Flat on his back, but by process of elimination, I can't see John Greengrass, so I assume it's him. I can see Gary Smith. I think it's John Greengrass. Yes, you can see now with the head bandage. Frank Tobin, the witness physio. And it wouldn't be surprised if Robin Orchard were to come on. Wouldn't be surprised. In fact, Orchard's on the far touchline, and Orchard is on. Orchard is on. Robin Orchard, the brother of Phil, and he's a tidy lad. He was a big, strong one on tour here and played well in the World Cup run-up. So this is what he's joined the stage halfway through the second half. 13 to Great Britain, 15 to New Zealand. Robin Orchard is quite a tough lad. He runs like his brother, although he's a forward. Great Britain now realising the urgency of the situation. Going to use the big strong men. The pass went astray, but it came good for Mantle. Now Chris Hesketh in and out of tackles. 25 yards line. And Great Britain now rousing themselves, and the crowd now beginning to look for something after being a little bit on the side of New Zealand. There's a chance. Oh. It's a bit of a hard pass to take. Got to use such as Sullivan and Les Jones, both prolific try scorers. I gather Greengrass is all right, is very winded, the report, and Orchard is quite good. Millward can't come back. But Exton, he's not a knock-on from Whitehead, it is his leg, but Sterling's there as ever. Sterling gets round all the corners of this field. I bet he covers more than any other. He's got covered now, he hurt himself. Just a spate of injuries coming at the moment, and it's he probably was winded, away foul. No more subs to come on, so it would be a great blow if it were to go off. No wonder Roy Christian is looking carefully. .25 yards line. I think he's all right. He's bending and he's sticking to the ball. That's a real good professional scrum half, sticking to the ball because he will play it. He's right. On with it. Using Robin Orchard. That's the new boy. Clean black and white jersey. You're just feeling that the try could come from a break either way. This fella's had a good game at fullback, Whitaker. Roy Christian. Now getting the worried stakes of the part of the game. Both sides now anxious and going to, in doing so, will make mistakes. Not in touch. Fisher fails. Sullivan pushing one up, going to Gary Smith. Mantle. Can Great Britain now pull this first test out of the fire? They're down by 15 to 13. There's a chance now. It's not a knock on. There's a chance he can get his pass in. Hesketh has got Sullivan. Sullivan has been attended to. Ken Sterling has done so much tackling, it's unbelievable. I said before, I think it's Sterling that's hurt. This fella must be knocked around like nobody's business, Sterling. He's been from one end to the other. His father in New Zealand will be very proud of his lad in this match. He came with the 1939 tour and then came back to play with Dewsbury, and they only played 2 matches, one at St. Helens and one at Crown Flat, the only team to go undefeated on a tour. And let's see how it happened. Sullivan was going in, and then he came in with the over the top, and it was from that point that the injury came, but Sullivan still got the ball, but he's all right. Great Britain could bring on Derek Edwards at this stage. For Whitehead, they want an attacking fullback now. I wouldn't be surprised if Derek Edwards come on. How long have we got to play? Must be about 14 minutes. Well, there's time at this stage to be tactically constructive and possibly bring on Derek Edwards, who is an attacking fullback and doesn't kick very much. Tatana does. Sullivan. In one now. And Sterling's there again. Just how he gets through, I just don't know. Same man again. You don't need a video repeat of that. Came on its own. Esker. He runs straight down the middle. Chris Esker, the Salford favourite. Got to get his pass in. Just 3 yards out and see the white line. This is a chance for Great Britain to get the lead back. With an overlap there. Millward, he's got it. He's dropped the pass. Billy Benyon dropped the ball. Jones outside him. And indeed, Derek Edwards has come onto the touchline. And is coming on. Derek Edwards, and the great big cheer for Derek Edwards, who's come on. But on the other side, as you're looking at him now, is Roy Christian. Fletch. Been a bit of 2 injuries for the Kiwis. Probably this is the hardness of this sort of football that they're not used to playing. Well, there's Derek Edwards, Casper fullback, an attacking player. And the tactics, no doubt, by team manager Will Spavin is to get as much attack as he can into it. So if there's going to be any goal kicking, I would think that they will now either use, well, I think he'll use Ashurst, although Roger could take it himself. Great Britain attacking, now fighting for their first test lives. They're down 15-13. Kenny Sterling's got the ball. Getting the ball more now, switched around the pack. Orchard has gone up front. Derek Edwards touches it, but Jones gets it. There's Jones. Only tried last season. Not had a lot of chance in this match to run. Millward. Wallow. Lost the ball. Well, I haven't been keeping count how many times Great Britain have lost the ball, but they lost it quite a few times. This is Robin Orchard. Trying to get his pass. He gets his passing. Christian. Ford after him. Cooksley with him. Near to the Great Britain 25 yards line. Whittaker, good player today. And Millward, a very good tackler. Cooksley. Katana. I don't know whether the ball is greasy or whether it's just difficult to hold, but it seems to be escaping the clutches, both teams. Wallow. Well, that was a good killing tackle by Gary Smith. He took the man and the ball. Oh, brilliantly taken. Roy Christian wondered where he was going. Right, 10 minutes to go. Still only the 2 points margin. Derek just came up, but he didn't get a pass. Well, so close. It would be impossible to even forecast what's going to happen in this match with it play going so much, taking on chances that are just often given by drop passes. Great Britain are now just leading scrums 15-13, 16-13 with that. Lost ball business continues. Well, it's New Zealand possession. Cooksley inside to the strong fella. Fisher. Doug Gailey, the prop, is not afraid to move with the ball. Neither is this big fella for that matter. The crowd wondering very much. Orchard inside to the Krilitic. Good tackle by Nash, but placed it on knock-on. Henry Tatana there. I don't know whether he's suffering with indignation or a slap in his eyes, but he's right. Like all Maori forwards, he'll come back and keep at it. Scrum down, by the way. Right in front of the post. Well, the team that all the critics said had no chance. That got a bit of a dirty look from Eric Ashton there when one of his club players did a thing like that in the test match. New Zealand, Don Gailey, Roy Christie and the dummy half. Wrong position for Great Britain. Whittaker. Krilitic using Robin Orchard. Robin Orchard and his try. Robin Orchard turned away, turned inside, and the strength of the subs have showed how important this has been. Keep your eye on number 15 as it comes in on that. Now then, there was still some tackling available, but it was too late. And a delightful Robin Orchard making New Zealand 18, Great Britain 13. And 6.5 minutes left for what at this stage is a rather surprising result to a lot of people, but I've never given the New Zealanders away. I'm not giving Great Britain away either, for that matter. And Tatana has given that away. No goal. 18-13, so Great Britain need a try and a go. New Zealand get to the other end. I wouldn't be surprised if they did have a drop of goal, the 1 point, making it that they've got to score twice. Rogers trying to drive his men, Roger Millward. This is a very strong lad to tackle, is Robin Orchard. I think he's from the Ellerslie Club too. Tatana, Mount Albert, these are the clubs. Keep the rugby league flag flying in New Zealand, and Derek Edwards really gets the ball for the first time. I've seen him score twice from this position, but not today at this moment. Five minutes to go, and you can see the margin, 13-18. And at this moment, it's Great Britain needing the try and a goal to make it level. Running good. Still scoring power in the Great Britain side. Missed chances, but then so has New Zealand. We want Millward special, and it's a penalty, and well, it's a bit late to be kicking a goal. I think I would have gone for that goal before. I differ with Eric there, but at least it might have come off. However, it's a position for a try, going for a try and a goal. Now there's no good going for a goal now. They need 5 points to Great Britain to equalise, and the 4 minutes to do it in. tackle. Might be a bit of injury time. There's been a bit on the New Zealand side, and John Mantle looking for a reason why he wasn't given a penalty. Koolman. Oh, everybody jumped at everybody who had the ball at that moment. Roger Millward. Bill Ashurst. And the tackling of New Zealand, they're going to be very bruised and tired after all this, but they'll think it's well worthwhile, because it's 10 years since their last victory in England, and almost to the day when they won it. So it's a long time to wait, although of course they've been beaten by Great Britain and New Zealand. And I'm talking about test matches, not World Cup. Test matches somehow that attract the imagination, and I'm sure it'll attract the imagination of New Zealand people who have seen this match. Cooksley, Roy Christian, Whittaker, no doubt where this fellow's going to play in future in the big matches. He's back. Phil Orchard, the brother of Robin, he's the fellow that goes straight, either over or under. He's not bothered. No messing, no off your right or off your leg, just straight. Two minutes to go plus injury time as one or two of the Kiwis wipe their injuries. Can Great Britain save this? The Mantle. Midway between the halfway line and the 25 line of the Whites. Delicious! Can he get his pass in? He has done. David Jeans couldn't get his pass in. There's a lot of Whites over there. Cornelius is going on his own. He's got to give it there. A kick in desperation for a good bounce. Whittaker takes it well. I don't think this fullback has put a foot wrong. One minute to go. Plus. You know what plus means. Nothing to do with us. Stopping. There's this Phil Orchard. He's coming on the burst. Give it a forward pass. It was just that second late in giving it was Ken Sterling. This fellow Lowther in possession. I know they've got a plan. If they get near the Great Britain post, he's going to have a drop. He knows he's only got 1 point, but that 1 point would make such a difference. It's 18-13 at this moment. And who is it? He's telling the players that there's 1 minute to go. Well, he's given 1 minute injury time. He's put one finger up to both teams.
Ball back, straight up.
And it's a penalty to New Zealand. And Gary Smith is worried about the ball. I don't know what he's worried about the ball for. He's going to get it. Henry Tatana. And he's kicked it away into Coronation Street on the back of our stand. So we're in the last seconds. And 1 minute injury time gone. And there's no doubt what New Zealand will do. They'll dig it up the jersey. Triletic, Robin Orchard. Ken Sterling, weaving and wobbling. And it's still New Zealand ball. Gary Smith showing the ball to Tatana. And there goes the whistle for time, and the delighted New Zealand team shaking hands with the Great Britain team, something that nobody said it would ever happen, but you can never know in Test football. So Great Britain with 13 points from Benyon, Ashurst and Escath, and 2 goals by Whitehead go down to New Zealand's 18 points. Williams, Whitaker, Phil Orchard and his brother Robin Orchard. Goals to Tana 3. So in what I think has been a very good, exciting test match. Hope you've enjoyed it. Good afternoon.